Welcome to the Red Raider Coaches Show. I'm your host, Shane Ben, along with Coach Cofer, and we're going to talk a little bit about the past week's game with Benedictine, the upcoming game with Long County, and see where we stand region-wise. Coach, going in this week, I know we talked about this already before radio and stuff, did twice. But how do you feel this week coming up to the Benedictine game was as far as
preparation? It's gonna keep laughing. Preparation for the Benedictine game, it was good. It was I thought after the Charlton game that things would be kind of down. The kids would be down, but they were ready to play. We had some good practices last week, and especially Thursday. Now, Thursday's not a practice day with pads on, but I thought kids were focused on what they were supposed to be doing, and we flew through practice on a Thursday. We go as fast as they go with things, and it's just like a game situation type day, and flew through that. And even in pregame, Shane, you and I talked about it before then, and I thought we were focused and ready. And you even made the comment that it didn't look like it was just another team.
Yeah.
And and it wasn't anything different playing anybody else. And of course they jumped out on us in a hurry and kind of stunned us doing some of the up-tempo stuff and that. But I thought preparation was fine. I really did. I thought we were ready to go. I was kind of impressed with our kids, the way they were approaching the game.
Well, I mean, I think up until after that first drive, I still thought they were prepared. And I know they weren't prepared mentally. I don't think they were shell-shocked after those first couple of touchdowns.
Yeah, and everybody looks at the score and everybody looks at the first quarter, and they put up some quick scores on us. Like I said, they went up tempo with the wing T stuff. I thought it looked pretty sharp. We weren't expecting them to do that, and that's what you do on game plan. You kind of expect stuff like that. We were trying to do something different defensively, and it made us look crazy because they were going up tempo. They were going real fast, running this stuff, and we couldn't get lined up. And we have some new people in there, and we have some young kids in there. And when we tried to put all that together, they were busting some runs right there, and we just couldn't handle it right there at the beginning. Once they jumped on us, it looked like our kids got down a little bit. And that's what I got frustrated about with them at halftime is, we've had so much bragging about our kids continue to keep their heads and do that. And I thought we just lost it a little bit. So if anything, in the first quarter, I thought we fought against just the name or the program Benedictine instead of the actual team. And they are ranked #1 in the state. They deserve to be. They're the reigning state champs. Very disciplined team, probably the most disciplined team we'll play all year. Do a great job. Coach Britt is a great guy, and his coaching staff just do absolutely a great job with their program. They've got it, and a lot of kids on their team. They can sub a bunch, but I thought it just got us down a little bit when they scored those first couple of touchdowns. I thought we did some good things offensively. We just couldn't put it together. It wasn't meshing. You have to keep that rhythm doing that. And we also gave up a fake punt. Not a fake punt, but a punt return.
I missed that one.
I missed a fake punt too. When we do this as many times as we've done it, we kind of mind starts to scatter. But it was a punt return. 2 in the past 2 weeks. 1 against Charlton and 1 against this. And we prepare. When I'm watching the game and you give up a punt return 2 weeks in a row, I'm wondering if you've practiced punt coverage your whole time. And folks, I'm telling you that we have. The first week, you can blame it on me on that, and we needed to teach our kids a little bit better how to break down. We went over it all week on how to break down, when we have, especially a speedy punt returner like they had and Charlton had right there, and just break down. And we did the absolute same things we did against Charlton and just flew by them and didn't do that. And, we made a comment to them when we were coming off the field after they'd scored, guys, we got to break down. And they did it every time after that. So we learned from it, and we've had to learn against 2 top teams in the state on that. You just can't give up cheap scores like that and quick scores. It just changes the momentum of the game.
Well, you come into the week, you're missing, some of your top guys. Mentally, how do you, as a coach, what was the?
Yeah, and Jacob made a comment. It wasn't cocky whatsoever this morning. I thought it was just confidence, and he's not lying. He said, Coach, I need to play because I feel like we play better as a team when I'm there. He's not lying. He's telling the truth. If Demetrius or Big Man or Aubrey or any of those were out, I don't think we would play as good as a team. Or we're it's in the back of our mind, we're missing one, And, Jacob's a big part of it. And, him being out, he hates it. And he's kind of mad at me this week also. He's kind of mad at me last week, but not too bad. But this week he's going to continually get more upset with me through the week because we're going to keep him out again. He will practice tomorrow morning. When we say practice, he'll pad up just like everybody else. He'll go through some of the drills just like everybody else, but he'll take no physical punishment or no blows whatsoever. And neither will he give any, because he'll like to give some too. He won't do that. We're just going to try to get him back into the groove a little bit, into working. He worked out today and did squats today, not heavy, just band speed squats, which is good. Coach Conard has him doing in there. So just trying to get him back in the groove right there. But we needed to work on some other things anyway. And I want to make this clear that this whole season is a process to get through the end of the season and get better. Because once we hit playoff time, you've got to be good at a lot of different things. So sometimes you'll see us do some things different offensively and come out with a totally different game plan because we have to work on those things. And we work on them every day in practice like that. So we have to work without Jacob Carter. We have to work without George Lopez. George is another one that's been out. He just practiced this morning. Did a great job. Talked to him at the end of practice. Asked him how he was holding up. And he's sweating like everybody else, and he was in good spirits. And you don't realize how, taken out of a game or taken out of practices, and you get sick or you get hurt, how much it hurts until you're out and you can't compete against it. So I appreciate our kids being competitors like they are. And George is going to be back this week. I don't know how much he'll play. Coach Conard, I don't know what his plan is, but he may throw George in there right off. But George did a great job today. He's going to be back and he fills a spot for us right there. So, and I want to mention one other, and I don't mention his name quite often, but Peter Simmons did a great job. I think he graded the highest against Benedictine. I think he graded a 91, and to grade a 91 against a state championship team and the #1 team in the state is pretty dead good. And he was very proud of that. I think he got after it. Pete's one of those that we're unsure if he'll ever get to play after high school. And I think, he knows the answer to that. I knew the answer to that back in the day too. And, but Pete is getting after it. He knows that, this is his last year to play, so he's going to do that. So I want to give a shout out to Peter Simmons about the way he played Friday. Very proud of him.
Yeah, he's been one of those who stepped up and being leaders on the field, on the sidelines too as well.
Right.
With Jacob, he's going to be out. He's out last week. He's going to be out this week, and then we got open week. So really,
Bryan County is when we're looking to have him back.
How do you think that's going to affect him being gassed during the game, or as far as his stability and stuff?
Right, and that's what some of the coaches started saying yesterday during our Sunday meeting and in the afternoon. We need to start running him. He had a little. It was kind of the shoulder is my biggest worry. I wasn't even worried about the twisted or sprained ankle at all. We can recover from that. We can take that up, and he can go. He's a player, and he's pretty tough. He can go through that and play with that. The shoulder is what bothers me, and the way that he kind of delivers some punishment to people too, and he doesn't go away from it. And even if he's hurt, he's still going to go after it. And he's talking today about him going in with the other shoulder, something like that. When the adrenaline takes over, you're going to hit with anything that you got. And so we have to keep Jacob just focused on what he's supposed to be doing. Big man's the same way. We got him, not at 100%, even though this second game in a row, he's had 100-something yards receiving. I think he's like 400 on the year out of 4 games. He's having a good year as well also. And, we're just going to keep moving with him, and I think he's good. But he just popped an eardrum yesterday, tooting. So, he's definitely, going to come back tomorrow. Didn't practice today, so we'll see how he turns out this week. So, we hadn't had the same package as we usually have in each week. We've had somebody out or somebody hurt in each week. And Wesley Cochran, mentioned him too, with pulled groin, was better this week. But then all of a sudden, he at the end of practice today, when we get to weights, he aggravates it again. So hopefully we can get him better. But it's just little naggy type things that we've got right now.
Well, just we'll break this down and do this segment and go right into Long County. But the positive you take from Benedictine, I know we talked about it earlier, but what do you see as a positive from Friday night?
Yeah.
We can pick negatives all night long.
Right,
what do you say?
Yeah, I didn't like the way that we did some stuff at the beginning But then we came back in the second half, and we have to play a 4-quarter ball game. We can't play a name of somebody. We have to go after them and play it like it's our last game. The kickoff returns, we made some mistakes because they had a good kicker, kicked it to the end zone a couple of times inside the 5. We didn't set the wedge back, but what I liked and the positive things, we had 3 or 4 kids, Cavante Merritt, LaGondrick Snell, Trey Stewart, and Ignacio Washington, all taking those kickoff returns back up in there full tilt. And Big Man almost took one to the house. Number 1 team in the state, they had no fear, and that's what I take from those 4 guys right there. They ran the ball like it didn't matter, and you've got about 8 guys converging on you, and you run it right at them. That takes guts for me, and I was very proud of that. And they didn't think anything about it, but that's goes without them thinking and just getting up there and playing hard and stuff. But saw some things passing wise. We just had some little miscues, but our kids weren't scared to catch a ball or to get it up in there. And KJ Brown played tough. I thought Aubrey Carter did a great job. I yelled at him one time for not throwing the ball away, but Aubrey has really become a man out there. He has no worries. He'll take it up in there and lower that head on anybody.
And he's playing with his head. I see that a lot more.
Yeah, he is.
Instead of taking the sack, throwing it away, or
Right.
running it up, he's doing. And something on the sideline Friday night, he came in. It was right after he twisted his ankle, and I said, "Aubrey, you okay?" And he said, "Yeah, my ankle's killing." He said, "I don't have time to be on the sidelines. I got to get back in there."
Right.
That's his exact words. But I mean, just in his eyes, he knew he needed to be out there.
Right.
So I was really proud and glad to see that out.
It's nice to watch a young man become a man, and Aubrey Carter's one of those. Metrius Williams is becoming one of those. KJ Brown is just a sophomore, is becoming one of those. I like that. I like seeing that and being a part of their life like that. That's what high school football is all about.
Well, too, and we preach family, family, family on the sidelines. I've been radio and I hear it. I don't hear the kids bickering at each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's encouragement, or I saw a kid the other day coaching another kid on the sideline, what they need to do in this situation. So positive things are happening.
Right.
We keep going that direction.
Right.
Being a good spot. We'll take a quick break. We want to give a shout out to our big sponsors: Titan Modular, ATC, FND South, Bennett and Johnson, Clean Air and Electric, and Richmond Bacon are big sponsors that help this coaches show in BCTV on Friday nights, and a lot of the other stuff we do with Red Raider Touchdown Club. But Friday also, Coach, we do breakfast for the team at First Baptist Church every Friday morning, and this week we had sponsors.
Yeah, CrossFit Alma and Taylor Farms, and we sure do appreciate it, guys. You feeding these kids and these coaches, and the gentleman that cook the breakfast every morning, and doing all that. And Shane's one of them that's there every morning. So all those guys at First Baptist Church, we sure do appreciate you going and just getting up that early and doing that. And then we had lunch. Touchdown Club sponsored a lunch for us at Sybil's out there at Jessup. That's my first time being at Sybil's. I really enjoyed that, and the company there. They took care of us there. And tonight at 6 o'clock at New Lacey Church of God, Mr. Wink Metters, Austin Metters' dad, Peter Simmons' uncle, told those kids if we beat Pierce that he was going to have us a steak dinner and baked potatoes and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to go over there to New Lacey and eat it up tonight, and can't wait to do that. But we sure do appreciate you, Wink, and New Lacey Church of God folks.
And that said, the community as a whole. I mean, the folks that did drive to Savannah this weekend, just all those folks that support this program.
Appreciate it.
Top and bottom. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll talk about the Long County game and what we need to do to take victory over them. We'll be right back. All right, Coach, week 5 on the schedule, week 2 in the region schedule. Long County, as big as games we got every week from now is the biggest game we got with them. Way the region kind of played out Friday night. Talk about that a little bit real quick.
Yeah.
Jeff Davis losing to Long, big shocker. Vide losing to McIntosh.
Right.
So that just kind of opens the window wide open. Looks like Benedictine with them beating us is probably locked in at
Driver's
1.
seat.
So we got a shot at number 2. We just got to run the table.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, and I think that's you and the boys each week taking that game is 1 week at a time.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where we are.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely think that we can win the next 6, but we're not thinking about McIntosh or Vide or Groves or Bryan County. We're thinking about Long County, I can assure you. We want to do things, and that's the fun part about it is these kids they're into it with us. We want to do something specific in each game that we play. And they're focused, we're focused, and we put all our attention into that one. And some people say, well, you can't tell me they're not thinking. I can promise you they're not thinking about anything else. When we had those 3 in a row right there, we're focused on the next game. We want that second seed. We'll take it. I wouldn't care if we got that first seed and some Benedictine got knocked off, but we want the second seed. We want to take one game at a time. We're going to get after Long County's behind and go over there and they're a lot more aggressive than they were last year. They got a new young coach named Eric McNair. I met him over the summer. Good guy. Coach Kaiser over there at Tatnall coached him a while back. Said many good things about him. He's trying to do a lot of the Auburn type stuff, offense. Not the Auburn that we've been seeing the past 2 or 3 weeks, but Auburn in the past in doing it. But a lot of buck sweep out the gun, a lot of leads. They have their quarterback and their tailback are 2 great athletes. I've seen them at state weightlifting competition. They have a slot guy also. They're very strong in the weight room, linemen too. I think football's still kind of that new thing for them. In the past, 10 to 12 years, how long this ever been, it's still new, and they're coming around. But the young coaching staff, I think, has done a good job. I thought they were pretty good last year. I just think the intensity level's up a lot on defense, and they'll pin their ears back and come after you, tail. So they'll do that on special teams. I think they'll take some chances. You got to stop the quarterback and the running back. They're fast. They may be as fast as anybody we've got on our team, both of them together. And so they're dangerous. They had some speed last year. One of them caught Drell Green on a long pass play. Drell had a head start right there, and that sucker hawked him down. And that's Drell playing Division I football right now. So that ought to tell you about what kind of athletes Long has. But 4-4 on defense, 3-5 on defense. They'll kind of mix that up. If we spread it out, they're going to go 3-5. If we're in the horseman package, they're going to go 4-4, maybe even a 6-2, walk those outside linebackers up and try to come after us. So we'll play action a little bit. We'll do what we got to do. We have some new things that we're going in where we'll spread them out. And we'll use a one-word call to try to go fast and try to wear these guys out as best we can. We kind of take pride. Our kids take pride in the conditioning that they have to do and to go fast. And it's just a thrill for them and us to see a kid huffing and puffing across the line from you. You've got him because I've been running my tail off the whole summer, and we ran him this morning pretty hard. So, but I definitely think Long County is on the rise. The principal stopped and asked me at a softball game last year about some different things that they could do with their program. What kind of things were we doing? I thought that meant a lot for a principal to ask me that. I know he's been asking a lot of the other football coaches around the region too. When you have administrative support like that, you got things going in the right direction. And I think definitely Long County's got that. So we're going to have to fight that too. I definitely think they show more excitement. I think they got that confidence boost beating Jeff Davis this past Friday. And so we got to hit that in the mouth too. So, but I definitely think we're focused on going into this week and getting after it.
That was my next question. You think the boys understand the magnitude of where they are at?
We watched film today. We practice in the morning, so we got to watch film. We have that hour-long lunch where they eat at the beginning, and then they can come in there. They get tutoring. Had some go to tutoring, so they'll get to see that tomorrow. And most of them in there watching it today. We watched offense, defense, special teams. So we watch everything. The film is a little bit hard to see the numbers. So we kind of set our sights on who we need to stop or who we need to go after or if there's a defensive player that we have to take out of the game. And when we say take out, folks, we're not talking about injure. We make comments and somebody might hear me say that we need to take him out of the game. What we're talking about is physically and mentally take him out of the game, where we're putting licks on a certain player or two and trying to get to them mentally so they can't make any more plays. It might be their best player. It might be somebody that we need to attack. We do that offensively and defensively and kind of go after them. That's just game planning. So number 8 and number 9, that's the running back and quarterback. I made some calls to other coaches to see what the numbers were on some of these kids. And number 34 on defense, they'll line him up in a 3-5 at the Mike linebacker, and they're going to send him, or he'll be at the defensive end in the 4-4, and they're sending him. So evidently he's their rush guy, so we have to watch out and make sure that he is accounted for when we're up on the offensive line or our running backs. Sometimes he won't be blocked. We'll do that on purpose, and we'll option him and stuff like that. That's just game planning of what we do. We see holes, as a staff. They'll see holes in our defense. We see holes in other people's defense, just like Benedictine. Long's going to run a cover 3, not like Benedictine, but just holes in the defense where we think we can throw. We have to come up with the catches. We have to throw the ball. We have to do that. But I definitely think the last 3 games have prepared us to do that. And, people say, dang, that's a heck of a schedule right there at the beginning. That's a good thing, because you're playing those, now you know what to expect, and we're preparing in the process, going through this whole year of getting into the playoffs and winning. Not just getting in the playoffs, but winning and preparing ourselves mentally and physically for that grueling process in these next 6 games. And, we're going to go after it, and we're going to be aggressive. We're going to do us, and went for it a lot against Benedictine on 4th down. I got tired of them scoring, and I didn't want them to get the ball back, and we were going to take chances. We need to work on stuff like that too. So that was in the back of my mind. But anytime we see a 4th down opportunity, we want to take it, and we just don't want to hand the ball back to somebody. So we want to see how many plays that we can run right there. We had a good, another positive I didn't mention was Delano Brinson stealing the ball from one of the running backs Friday at Benedictine. And, that's what we're talking about. So this is the only time that, stealing is good in football. We have to have the football, and we have to steal possessions from a team and get our offense the ball as many times as we can, or we need to score. So, our goal is the same. You always ask me that every week too. What's your goals for this week? It's always 40+ points and 0 turnovers, and we want to tackle better. There's a couple of times where we tackle nice, and there's a couple of times it looked like we hadn't worked on it at all. It's just as frustrating to us on the sideline as it is to you watching at home or watching from the stands, believe me. And we do work on it. You can blame it on Young and stuff like that, but that's our goals each and every week. We've got to put 40+. We don't care how we score. So special teams, defense, or offense.
Well, I think you call it special teams / offense, but you did the quick kick a lot this past week. Is that something you want to?
Yeah, and the punt, we've given up 2 punt returns on punt team past 2 weeks to two pretty good teams, and we're learning. We do have a lot of young guys on there. That's not an excuse. We have to coach them better. After we gave it up, we started breaking down a lot better, and the guys did a good job. The big man punts the ball pretty well, so does Aubrey. Now, when we quick kick it, we're an offense, and we'll line up in a certain formation, and then on their cards, they have a punt call. So we can either go for it, and it looks like we're going for it, or we'll quick kick it down there. And Aubrey's done a great job since the scrimmage games, punting people inside the 20 or inside the 10. He had a good punt Friday night, a couple of them, and did a great job. We just worry about that protection sometimes on that quick kick. But he's back about 7 yards, and then he'll move back right quick, and then he'll take one step and just kick it. And what that takes away is that we've got our offensive speed guys on the field, and we kick it away from wherever that safety is usually. Now sometimes they may pick it up, but it's usually right into our coverage right there.
Does he have the option to allow that if he sees something?
He does not have that option. I can give him that option right there, but usually it depends on what we see. Depends on where we are on the field. Now we've gone for it I think Bryan County last year, it was 4th and 2. And that's when Drell took one about 70-something yards, and it was 4th and 2 against Bryan County early in the ball game on our own 30 or on 25. and we went for it. It's just how our spirits are, I guess you could say. Confidence booming right there. If I think we can do them, or we can stop them on offense, or we need that right now, we'll go for it. I don't care where we are on the field, we'll do it. But yeah, we always have that option to check out that.
Well, I think another thing that we don't mention a lot or enough about is we've done an excellent job. Aubrey has actually given us opportunity on every onside kick we have. Even Friday night,
yeah,
those balls we had a chance to get back. We
did.
weren't able to get on them.
Yeah, we did, and they really weren't. You know, we started doing it before the Brooks game, playoff game last year. Is, you know, I said something to Coach Karen. I said, why don't we just squib it, because these guys at Brooks, and not taking anything away from Brooks because they're full of athletes, but they were having problems. And if you've ever tried to catch a football on the ground wobbling, it's odd shaped and it'll take odd bounces. And you know, when you're not expecting the ball, and we're kicking it across the field almost every time, and all of a sudden you do that. It's a squib kick designed to go down about 25 yards. So we kick it kind of hard, and he didn't kick the first one as hard, but it took those bounces on that turf. And we're still working with that. But I want the kick return team to worry. I want them to have to be coached on that, you know, the whole week before they play us. Now look, they could do this, they could onside it, they could do this. And we almost had an opportunity. We had nothing to lose against Benedictine at that point right there. And we just wanted to kick the mess out of it right there. Maybe it'll hit one of those linemen, and it took a bounce on that turf. And I thought we had one of them, and we almost had a shot at two of them. But you know what? It's you kick it deep, you know, you run the risk of one of them returning it, and they're full of athletes, or over there. So squibbing it is a little bit harder to handle. And it puts worry in the front line, and it puts worry in those other ones. So Aubrey did a great job. Now Dylan's going to have to learn how to do that. Dylan Kelly's going to have to learn how to do that as well. Dylan works his tail off each and every day. But, you know, that's become a weapon for us, and Aubrey's gotten pretty good at it. Aubrey has kind of become a weapon for us, kicking and punting and doing that quick kick. So he's gotten into it, and I trust him doing that kind of stuff. So that's been a big positive for the year.
All right, Coach. Well, any last words on Long County or just Friday night? I just know we need everybody that will show up Friday night in Ludowici.
Yeah,
not that far of a drive.
Yeah, I know Savannah was a long way, but we sure would appreciate you being there. It's huge, especially these region games, and they're not that far away to have our crowd. You know, our girls softball team feeds off of it too, and our kids are behind the outfield wall, and all the fans are right there. And I enjoyed watching them play and beating Jeff Davis last week. That was huge, but. We do the same thing with football, you know, having the band and the kids and the parents there and all the daddies. You know, some bad things happened against Charlton right there, you know, towards the end of the game in the second half. But all I heard was positive things. And when you got older gentlemen as myself back there and they got you back, I sure did appreciate that very much. And I hadn't said anything about that, but just having the community support that we have each and every week. This is the second year for me. I couldn't say enough about our community, how much I love it, and how much we appreciate your support and backup and everything that you do for us, and cheering on these kids the way that you do. You know, even through the bad times, we appreciate that. So just wanted to say that.
And I think we got some of the most educated football fans out there, because you go to these other counties, they're more of a social event than watching a football game and understand actually what's going on the field. So proud to be a Raider from Bacon County. All right, we're going to wrap it up. If you can, come out next Friday night and see Bacon County, or this Friday night, see Bacon County take on Long County in Ludowici. It's about a 50-minute drive or so over there, not bad. And we'll hopefully be here next Monday talking about a Red Raider victory over Long County. So we'll see you here next week.